Hello and welcome. My name is Grace. This is my channel, and oh my gosh, finally, a video in 2024. So, I had, let me just say that January has been a really crazy month for me, and I don't know what's happening with other people, if it's something, if it's how the stars align or whatever, but oh my God, it's been a little fucked up on my end, but it's getting better. It's getting better. I'm really tired and it's really late. And but I wanted to come on and because I had an opportunity to do so and just say, hey, how's everybody doing? All right. So, um, I'm going to talk about what my plans are for 2024. And I'm going to talk about some projects that I'm working on. And then I'm going to stop talking and because it's very late and I'm just going to babble. All right. So, here we are. So, the usual things I talk about every year at the start of the year is whether about tarot and whether, what my plans are, right? And this year's a little different, and I think it's because I've established a habit. I've established some habits, and it's just carrying into the new year. So, first things first. I didn't do a year ahead spread. I'm probably never ever gonna do a year ahead spread again. I'll do a reading when I feel like I need a reading, like a full reading. But the year ahead spread, I did that one in 2019. I'm still scarred from it. Okay? I'm still scarred from it. 2019 was a brutal year for me personally. Excuse me. And it was a brutal year for me personally, professionally, family, health concerns, and then we rolled right into from at the end of 2019 into COVID, and I was ill, and my family was ill, and it's like, oh no, 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 and it was all laid out in that year ahead spread. Every month, the month prior, I was always anxious about the following month because of the card that what had come up, and it was I don't have the temperament for that. I'm too anxious. Like I'm too hyper vigilant. It's really tough. So, and see, for me, that year ahead reading predicted, it hit all the, I was gonna say the high points, all the low points, and it predicted it. It was 100% accurate. So I I wasn't up to, oh my, sorry, I wasn't up to, I rather just live in the moment. Whatever happens, happens, and consult the cards when I need to consult the cards. So that's the thing about the year ahead spread. I didn't do that. In previous years, I've done depth year. I'm not doing depth year this year because I don't need to give it that label. Depth year is my natural state. And by pulling back from casting such a wide net with buying stuff and getting into all kinds of different stuff, and you know um, I feel so much better is what I'm saying. It's like depth here is my natural state, simplicity, um, you know having things that having fewer things that I'm focusing on more deeply, and whether it's hobbies, I'm not going to have like, a bazillion hobbies this year. I am planning to learn nail binding. I haven't picked it up at all this year yet, just because January's been insane. But I plan to learn how to nail bind, um, and continue with crochet and the other um, artistic hobbies I do in order to just maintain that creativity flowing and, you know, and decompress. So, I'm not calling it a depth year anymore because this is my natural state. And I'm happy to be here. Hobbies, I'm going to stick to a couple of hobbies, and that's pretty much it. And like really become proficient in them. Or, and that way I'm also not spending a whole ton of money on shit like, supplies and stuff that I'm not going to use. It's also I'm going to be like, I draw down my supplies. I have everything I need for what I want to do, and I'm good. When I run out of that, I'll replace it. So in previous years, I've done no buys. No buys for me, they don't work because I do well in, let's say, in all but one category. But then that one category, and we all know what I'm talking about, right? The decks. I'm done buying decks. Thank God. It was a very long road, people. Many trips to the river. Many trips to the river. I never want to go back there. That was a shit place to be. And I'm much more content now. And that's pretty much it. I've cut back on what I watch on social media. I cut back on social media altogether, and I just do what I need to do for the things that I need to do them for, right? So I'm still going to. I've actually been more present on my Rue's Kitchen Facebook group in the last month. And I'm going to continue to try to be a little bit more present there. What else? Instagram. Well, those of you, if I'm on Instagram, and I do what I need to do on Instagram. I interact with the people I want to interact with, but it's I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Instagram used to be different. Was it 10 years ago? Like, even it was, Instagram was better even like, 3 years ago. Now, but I'm still there. If you want to come and see me, come and say hi. So, yeah, what else? My magical spiritual practice has gone really internal since last year. I mentioned I mentioned this in my previous video, so I don't need to revisit it here, but it's still quite internal. I'm still creating though, which is fantastic. I'm creating incense blends for myself, and it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic, and I recommend that. Even it doesn't matter if you're new or if you're seasoned at this. There's a satisfaction in making your own herbal blend, incense blend. But what I learned from experience, because I can't stand myself sometimes, is not to. If you try to recreate something you've purchased that's commercial or handmade by another practitioner, you'll be disappointed. well, I'm disappointed because it never matches the commercial product or the handmade product, right? You have to make your own. It has to be your own creation. And when it comes from you and it's your own creation, you're so much more satisfied with the result. I know I am. And I am really enjoying doing that. I'm also making sure at this stage in the game to write down what I did because I've forgotten a lot that I knew. And um, I don't want to do that going forward, especially now that I'm creating more. I really don't want to forget how the recipes or the technique used and all that stuff. But again, I mentioned that in a previous video, so I don't need to revisit that. Um, I am spending a lot of time in my grimoire. It has become a refuge for me. It's the place where I write down my thoughts. It's like a commonplace book where I write down quotes, thoughts, feelings, recipes, spells, um, incantations, uh, anything that I want to remember. Um, there's pages where it's an art journal. It's just, if I think the best thing that ever happened to me was discovering that if I didn't like a page, I could just cover it and just redo it. Just cover the page. I use a variety of methods to cover up a page: craft paper, tissue paper, glue stick. Just make sure you cover the entire page. Um, you saturate the whole page with the glue stick, pop the paper on, and just make sure to press it down so that it sticks. And of course, always check the paper you're using to cover to make sure it's opaque enough. And that's it. That was life changing because now I feel more free to make art in my grimoire. I feel more free to write things, and if I don't like the way it looks, I just change it. I just redo it. Fantastic. That's from 2023, and I'm carrying that forward into 2024 for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. I've returned to the runes after 25 years. Was it 25? 25 years. And I'm exploring the runes one at a time. Excuse me. I'm drinking tea. I'm exploring the runes one at a time and just taking my time with them. And it's good to be home. And that's how I feel. I feel like I'm home. I feel like I went away, like I was gone for 5 years, and now I'm home. I'm, as far as, because, we like talking about cards, I've come back to Rider-Waite Smith, and I've been spending a lot of time just with these, and wow, the connection is back. The relationship is back. I won't be acquiring any more new decks. I learned my lesson in 2023. 2023 was a little bit of a hiccup where I had repurchased some that I had let go of, only to discover that there's a reason I had let them go. and had to let them go all over again. And that wasn't happy with that. And the other thing um, is now that I know, now that I hear my own voice and I know what kind of reader I am and what kind of imagery I like to work with, I I have everything I need. I have everything I need. Honestly, you know you know what I'm gonna say. You only need one. The rest of them are, you know, you only need one. Anything more than that is, um, you're lucky. You know what I mean? Like it's anything more than that is luxury, and and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But anything more than one is a collection, and I don't want to be acquiring any more just to collect because I don't feel good. Everyone is free to do what they want, just like I'm free to do what I want. I don't feel good. Right now, I feel good. Cartomancy. I've come back to cartomancy. I had gone away from cartomancy for a little while, and cartomancy is, I guess, what the general population here in this niche call reading with playing cards. Um, where I come from, there's tarot and playing cards, and it's like tarot and regular cards, and but it's the same. We didn't have like specific terms for it. It's just, do you want a reading with regular cards or do you want a reading with tarot cards? I've come back to the playing cards with extreme caution and trepidation because I find them to be brutal. But I'm coming back to them slowly, every now and then, because I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget how to read them, basically. So a lot of 2024 is going to be coming back to skills, established skills, and revisiting them and, beefing them up a little bit, like anything that's been neglected in terms of skills regarding divination, magic, and also reading books more. But I think I want to focus on fiction this year because I've been uh, a heavy nonfiction reader for years and years and years, probably a decade, and I'd like to start reading fiction again. And I'm really funny about fiction. Um, I enjoy all fiction except I really enjoy the classics. I know it's kind of boring, and I'm a bit of a nerd, a bit of an English literature nerd. Um, I prefer the classics when it comes to fiction, and what I really don't enjoy, I think my least favorite genre is any kind of witch fiction. I hate witchcraft fiction. I can't even tell you. So that's not gonna be for me. I just find it. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I get bored. I don't know what it is. It's just it doesn't appeal to me. Pretty much like books on tarot don't appeal to me. It's that kind of thing. What else did I want? Oh. So what am I up to in 2024? I have some projects on the go for 2024. As you may know if you watched my previous video, my healthcare job ended last year, and I'll be focusing on writing and creating content for YouTube. I started a Patreon. I did a soft open, like I call it, for of a Patreon. I would say it was January 6th when I did this. Was soft open for Patreon. My Patreon is focused primarily on Italian folk magic and witchcraft, um, and divination and spirituality. It's going to be, the focus is heavily Italian folk magic. And I thought that would be an excellent way for me to come back to folk magic, the Italian folk magic, the books and everything, and discuss. I've gotten requests from members of the Roost Kitchen Facebook group who over the years have asked me if I could maybe go over the chapters in my book, the pronunciation of the words in Italian and in the various dialects, various other Italic languages. And that's some of the things that I'm going to do. I'm going to discuss books on Italian folk magic in the Italian language that I read, and share what I find are really valuable nuggets of information. So that's it. So I have a Patreon. The Patreon, I had to start a Patreon for a few reasons. And I'm so grateful that it exists, because I didn't have to, it's not too much work, right? To start a Patreon, you just throw the switch and it's on, and that's fantastic. It's a more intimate setting because there's Italian folk magic that is discussed openly, and then there's the more occult stuff that I just feel better, a more intimate setting kind of thing, right? Where there's that, the likelihood of a drive-by devout Catholic posting a novel length comment about what their issue they have with me, when I only have one question for them, is if you're a devout Catholic, why are you watching my channel? So the more intimate setting, with Patreon, it'll allow me to interact more intimately as well, where patrons can reach out to me for if they have any questions, if they need some advice, or they want a little, they want to consult me on their magical work. It allows that kind of dialogue to occur, again, in a more direct way. And what else? I lost my train of thought. But that's it. I started a Patreon, and if you're interested in Italian folk magic, you want to go deeper, you want to hear me discuss books that are in the Italian language that I read, if you want me to go deeper into the chapters of my book, and you want to hear what it sounds like in Italian when I say it, that's the place to be. And I'm so grateful for, again, a soft open on January 6th, and I'm so grateful for the members that are there. It's a great little family, and I look forward to serving my community in whatever way I can. Oh, and maybe so right now, what I've shared on there so far, again, it's in its infancy. So I shared one video on saints, tarot and saints, and I also shared a discussion on how I approach the saints, how I approach initiating a relationship, maintaining, how I foster a working relationship with saints, and what exactly does that mean? And that's pretty much it for today. I know people, I'm sorry, right? It's like I'm really low energy, I'm not feeling so hot, and it's been a heavy day. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. I promise to be more energetic next time. I will be posting more regularly on YouTube as well, so it's not like I'm going to it's not like I'm going to be creating content for Patreon and then it's like crickets here on YouTube. No, no. Um, that's a separate thing. Here I'm going to be actually I did have tonight because I wanted to come on and like break the ice a little bit because I'd been gone for a bit and I was feeling a little low energy. What is Oh, I will be picking up. So I'm going to be picking back up the experiential meaning of the tarot, where there's a playlist on my channel. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm holding back a cough, right? So I look like my head's about to explode or something. I make these stupid faces. I apologize. I'm going to be coming back with, I'm going to pick up that whole experiential meaning of the cards and what it looks like, what it looks like in readings and stuff like that. I also want to discuss a little bit spirit communication with cards, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I had a note somewhere. What kind of things, what does it look like in a reading when there's some kind of magical interference, or like my parents' generation would say, if you were cursed. That is, yeah. Curses are not as common as we make them sound in my community. And I mean like my Italian American, Italian North American, Italians, the Italian diaspora. It's not as common. But there's other things, right? So there's such a thing as spiritual illnesses, and that's how it translates to spiritual illnesses and stuff like that. So I did want to, or not did want to, I will be exploring that in future videos where I show you, well, this is what sometimes the reading looks like this, and you have to question about like perhaps there's some interference there, and then how to check if you got rid of it. All right. I'm going to let you go, guys. Thank you so much for being here, because if you're not watching me, I'm just freaking talking to myself, and I already do that without the camera rolling. All right. Wherever you are in the world, I hope all is well. I wish you blessings and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.